Provocateur Milo Yiannopoulos was on Bill Maher's show the other night, and, well, shortly after that, things went a little south for him, to say the least. Footage of Milo, in which he seemed to defend intergenerational sex, was released. Footage that had been available online for quite some time, but someone had obviously been sitting on it and waiting to release it at an opportunistic moment. Milo is, of course, getting too big for his boots, and because of his ideas on things like, immigration and globalization, he needs to be destroyed. I have problems with some of the things Milo says, in particular some of his the ideas he expressed on the Joe Rogan show and the Drunken Peasants podcast. But I think that he does have some very good points as well. And unfortunately, he is now going to be, ostracized because of his comments regarding intergenerational sex. And I don't think he's going to really recover from this. But of course, time will tell. Bill Maher has taken credit for Milo's ostracization, but not so fast, because footage has emerged of Bill Maher making pretty much the same points. Here he is from about 20 years ago on Real Time with Bill Maher.
Mary Kay Letourneau, the teacher from Seattle, who is in jail because she is in love. That's how I view it. I admit that it's unorthodox. She is 35. The boy is 14. He was younger when they started. But the big story this week...
Has he been bar mitzvahed?
Have I?
No, is he?
Oh. Okay. But she is pregnant again. That was the story this week. With the second child by this boy. So basically they're having a family and they're keeping the mother in jail because she won't conform to what society feels should be the perfect American family.
Yeah, it's perfect. My dad's 14 years older than me.
Absolutely sickening.
What is sickening?
A woman who's over 20 years older and she raped this kid.
Raped?
Well.
Come on. She forced? How do you know? And how can you?
Well, how do you know that she didn't rape him?
How can a woman
know that she didn't seduce him?
How can a woman rape a man?
Now, the problem with that line of argument is that we're not talking about a man. We're talking about a boy. We're talking about a child. Now, Bill has made a habit of promoting these kinds of ideas. Here he is from a Playboy interview. He says, look, I'm a 51-year-old man and I go out with girls in their early 20s. Nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly legal. Playboy asks him, are you saying teachers should be allowed to have sex with their 13-year-old students, as she did, and not go to jail? Playboy's talking about the case of Mary Kay Letourneau, the teacher who had sex with her 13-year-old student. Bill Maher says, I think it's a little offbeat, but I believe in the double standard. If a 28-year-old male teacher is screwing a 13-year-old girl, that's a crime. But with Deborah Lefave, or Lefave, however you pronounce her name, screwing her 14-year-old boy student, the crime is that we didn't get it on videotape. Was he being taken advantage of? I wish I'd been taken advantage of like that. Here is Mary Kay Letourneau with her boyfriend, the one she raped while she was a teacher. And, just do a thought experiment. Imagine a teacher, having raped one of his 12-year-old pupils, or imagine a man having raped a 12-year-old child in general, and him given a sympathetic interview with Barbara Walters on primetime television while sitting next to the person he raped. Just imagine that. Boys and girls in schools are children, regardless of their sex. And not only is it illegal to take sexual advantage of children, whether they be boys or girls, but it's also a moral aberration. Bill Maher, by casually normalizing child rape, is part of the problem. And notice what he said as well in that Playboy interview. He says that the crime is that we didn't get it on videotape. That's basically Bill Maher advocating child pornography. Bill Maher is unfortunately part of the problem, and he's just another liberal hypocrite, and a sanctimonious one at that.